It was just after dawn on March 24, 1998. The Rhapsody of the Seas glided silently across the Caribbean, sun breaking over calm waters. Inside cabin 9252, the Bradley family slept soundly, or so it seemed. But when Ron and Eva Bradley awoke, their 23-year-old daughter, Amy Lynn, was gone. Her shoes were still by the bed, her cigarettes and lighter untouched. Her balcony door was ajar, the ocean stretching endlessly below. And somewhere between night and morning, Amy had vanished, without a sound, without a trace. This wasn't just a disappearance. It was the beginning of one of the most baffling unsolved cases in modern maritime history. A mystery that would span decades, ignite international headlines, and haunt one family forever. Before we continue into the haunting details of Amy Lynn disappearance, make sure to subscribe to CaseCrypt Vault and join us as we reopen the cold cases time tried to bury. Amy Lynn Bradley was born on May 12, 1974, in Petersburg, Virginia. She was bright, athletic, confident, a college graduate with her whole life ahead of her. Her family described her as strong-willed and fiercely independent, the kind of woman who didn't shy away from confrontation, but who also had a warm, funny side that drew people in. In March of 1998, Amy's father, Ron, received a special invitation, a company reward cruise through the Caribbean aboard Royal Caribbean's Rhapsody of the Seas. He decided to take his wife Eva, his son Brad, and Amy. It was meant to be a week of sunshine, music, and family memories. But what began as a dream vacation would end as a nightmare no one could wake from. From the moment they boarded in Puerto Rico, Amy's parents remembered her excitement and her caution. She told friends before the trip that she wasn't entirely comfortable about being on a cruise. There was something about being surrounded by strangers in the middle of the ocean that made her uneasy. Still, she joined in. The family danced at night, swam in the ship's pools, and met other passengers. One of the ship's bands, Blue Orchid, befriended Amy and Brad. They'd hang out at the ship's club, Disco Calypso, laughing, talking, dancing late into the night. Then came that final night. March 23, 1998. The band played late, drinks flowed. Amy and her brother Brad were seen dancing with members of Blue Orchid. Passengers recalled seeing Amy smiling, radiant, alive, untroubled. But in the early hours of the morning, something shifted. Around 1 a.m., Amy and Brad returned to their cabin. They sat out on the balcony, talking quietly as the ocean wind brushed against the curtains. Brad went to bed around 3:30 a.m. He remembers seeing Amy still awake, sitting on the balcony, smoking a cigarette. It was the last time anyone in her family would ever see her. When Ron woke around 5:30 a.m., he noticed Amy's balcony door slightly open. Her cigarettes and lighter were still beside the chair. Her shoes were neatly placed on the floor, not the sign of someone who had gone for a walk. But Amy was gone. Ron searched the deck, nothing. He told the ship's crew immediately, begging them not to dock until a full search could be done. But instead, the ship anchored at Curaçao. Passengers began disembarking. And in that critical window, if Amy had been taken, she was already gone. Within hours, her name echoed across the ship. Announcements, room checks, frantic calls. Crew searched the cabins, the decks, the lifeboats. No one found anything, no note, no splash reported. Royal Caribbean assured the Bradleys that Amy must have fallen overboard. But her parents refused to believe it. Amy was a trained lifeguard, a strong swimmer. Her family insisted she would never sit barefoot on a balcony rail, never risk falling into open water. Something or someone had taken her. After the ship docked, an official investigation began. The Rhapsody of the Seas was searched by island police, the FBI, and Royal Caribbean's own security staff. But by then, hundreds of passengers had already disembarked, along with potential evidence. Witnesses came forward. Several people claimed to have seen Amy after she was reported missing. A cab driver in Curaçao said a young woman matching her description approached his taxi that morning, asking where the nearest phone was. Later, 2 Canadian tourists reported seeing a woman matching Amy's photo on a beach in Curaçao, walking with 2 men. She appeared disoriented, possibly afraid. But none of the sightings could be confirmed. The Bradleys refused to let their daughter's case be buried in bureaucracy. They stayed on the island for days, working with FBI agents and hearing private investigators. They distributed thousands of flyers. They begged cruise officials for the passenger manifest to recheck those who had shared the club that night. But Royal Caribbean was hesitant. In later interviews, the family accused the company of withholding information and delaying cooperation during those crucial first hours. They believed Amy had been abducted on the ship and possibly taken into sex trafficking networks that operated through Caribbean ports. The following years brought chilling reports. In 1999, a U.S. Navy officer claimed he saw Amy in a brothel in Curaçao. He said she approached him, whispered urgently, "My name is Amy Bradley, please help me," before security took her away. Another witness, a tourist, claimed she saw a woman resembling Amy on a beach, accompanied by men who looked like handlers. The woman had tattoos identical to Amy's, a gecko on her stomach, a sun on her back. Even more disturbingly, in 2005, the Bradley family received an anonymous email containing a photograph. It showed a young woman, older, thinner, but hauntingly similar to Amy, sitting on a bed in lingerie. The image was allegedly found on a website advertising sex workers in the Caribbean. The FBI analyzed the photo. Forensic experts said it could be her, but nothing concrete ever emerged. Some investigators believed Amy may have fallen overboard, perhaps disoriented or tired from a long night. But with no body ever found and no splash reported, that theory faded fast. Her family firmly rejected it. Amy was making future plans, a new apartment, a new job. There were no warning signs. This remains the most widely believed explanation. Cruise ships in the 1990s had limited surveillance, loose security, and minimal oversight. Amy's last known location, a private balcony near public corridors, was vulnerable. Some theorize she may have been lured or drugged, removed quietly before the ship docked, and sold into trafficking. As the years passed, the sighting slowed, but the hope never did. Ron and Iva appeared on talk shows, news programs, even America's Most Wanted, pleading for information. Each new lead, a phone call, a blurred photo, a rumor, reignited their hope, only to crush it again. It's been over 27 years since Amy Lynn Bradley vanished. No trace of her has ever been found. No arrest, no charges, no remains. The FBI continues to list Amy as missing and endangered. Her case remains open. Royal Caribbean, after years of silence, released a statement expressing sympathy but denying negligence. Her family, meanwhile, has lived in suspended grief, never able to mourn, never able to move on. Amy's story became a haunting symbol, not just of loss, but of how vulnerable travelers can be on international waters, where jurisdiction blurs and accountability fades. Her disappearance inspired legislative pushes for safer cruise ship practices, better security, surveillance, and reporting protocols for missing persons at sea. Even now, Amy's parents keep her room preserved, just as she left it in 1998. Photos, mementos, her favorite clothes folded neatly. A reminder of a daughter who was loved deeply and taken too soon. Ron Bradley once said in an interview, "We don't want revenge. We just want to know what happened to our daughter." But for families of the missing, closure can be a cruel illusion, something always promised, never delivered. Every day, cruise ships sail across the world, filled with laughter, music, and adventure. But beneath the surface, the ocean holds its secrets tight. For Amy Lynn Bradley's family, the waves still whisper the same unanswered question. Where is Amy? And somewhere, maybe on a distant shore, perhaps someone knows the truth. Until then, her name remains another echo lost at sea. This is CaseCrypt Vault, where every shadow hides a story. Don't forget to hit that like button and also subscribe.